Austin Forkner speaks out, tells his truth, and announces his retirement.
Hey guys, so I have an announcement to make, and I just figured I would come on and talk to you guys about it, let you know some of the main reasons or my thought process behind the decision. So I am retiring as of now, or as of, I guess, a week and a half ago, kind of when I made the decision. I'm sure some of you are wondering why I wasn't a redbud. But yeah, I'm retiring, and if you want to stick around this video, I'm going to try to keep it, make it not super long, but it's probably going to be, you know, a decent amount of me talking, just because I was going to give you guys some of kind of my main reasons behind it and just some insight, let you know where my mind was at with this whole decision-making process, because it is a big decision and it's not one that I've kind of, you know, that I've made lightly. I've thought about this quite a bit. I've been thinking about it for a while. It just kind of, yeah, after my crash in Colorado, it's just, I feel like it's time. So one of the main reasons, one of the big reasons is my arm. I don't know if you guys, I don't really talk about it very much, but this arm, as you can see through here, basically all the way through here, is I've lost all of the muscle all the way up into my tricep, kind of all into the back of my shoulder. I've lost all this down into my hand. All of this is just gone. Started a few years ago, like 4 or 5 years ago. I've had 3 surgeries on it. I've seen some of the best neurologists in the country. The last surgery I had on it was from the dude who fixed Roxon's arm up in Vail, and nothing's really made it better. And at this point, I can't hang on. Like I got nothing. I mean, it's I can't even work my fingers correctly. I mean, they don't really just, I mean, if I put my arm up like this, I can't even, you know, I can't even raise my, like I can't lift my fingers. And also, like, if there's nothing there at this point. And they don't even know what caused it. I saw, like I said, some of the best neurologists in the country, and they just said, they literally did this. They literally just said, we don't know. We don't know what caused it. We don't know really what the problem is. And it's not going to get any better. You're just going to keep losing muscle. And once muscle's gone, it's kind of, once it atrophies to a certain point, it either doesn't come back or it's very, very hard for it to come back. So, yeah, that's kind of, we've done every scan, every single test you could possibly do in the past 5 years since I kind of started looking at this thing, trying to deal with it, and it's not gotten any better. And at this point, it's so bad that I can't hit whoops with a finger on the clutch. I can't have a finger on the clutch when I go step on, step offs. I can't, any little mistake or any quick jerky motion of the bars rips my hand off the bars. It happened in my Dallas crash. In my Houston crash this year, my hand blew off. I've had multiple crashes just from my hand coming off, and kind of just because I can't hang on. So any sort of, I get in motocross, if you guys know, if you ride, you know that it's about reacting. It's not, dirt bikes is not it's about reacting to everything. And if you go into a corner and there's a G out, or a line does something, or somebody comes over on you, you just have to be quick and react to it really quickly. And my arm has made it very, very hard to do that, because any of the quick snappy movements with the bars or with my body or with anything, my hand tries to come off because I don't have the grip strength. So yeah, that's a bummer, but that's just a reality of it. It's kind of something I've had to accept over the past couple of years since the last surgery I had, and it didn't do anything. It didn't help. I just kind of had to accept that and move on. So, but at this point, it's bad enough that I'm making stupid mistakes and having stupid crashes that are a lot worse than they need to be, just because I don't have the strength in it. So that's, I guess, one of the reasons. Another reason is I feel like after my Dallas crash, I was just, I know it's obvious. I haven't been the same guy since that crash. I feel like I was just kind of heartbroken after my Dallas crash. You know, I feel like if you've ever done anything that you literally put your whole entire heart and life and everything into, which is dirt bikes, and what I've done in dirt bikes, I've put it's a job, but it's not really a job. It's your life. It's been my life since I was super young, and I've put everything into it. And before, in the preseason of 2024, I made a bunch of changes that I thought I'd had a couple bad years. Just been hurt and results weren't quite there even when I was healthy. And preseason 2024, I was living in California full time. I switched off the bike trainers to Charles Dow. I switched on the bike trainers to Rhino. Even the program itself was pretty, I would say, not the normal program. We didn't even touch a road bike. We didn't do really any of the things that I feel like are the stereotypical, programs that riders do. I know a lot of the programs. I know kind of what guys do for training. Most of the pros, we all do pretty similar stuff. This was a pretty different program. So it was a pretty big risk, I guess, that I took, but I felt it was a necessary thing to switch up these things to try to, do better, get better results. And it worked. It worked. I felt great coming into the season. My riding was one of the best, if not the best it's ever been. You could argue 2019 and 2020 were my riding was good then. I look back on my riding in Dallas before that heat race in Dallas. I was unreal. My riding was unreal. I won Detroit. Obviously, it was the first turn pile up, but I backed it up with how I was riding in Dallas before the crash. I was riding unreal. And just how much I put into that. So I always put everything into every season, but I just was feeling good coming into 2024. And to have it still end up like it did was just a huge hit to me. Just me, my heart, my brain, my soul, my whatever you want to call it. It was just that sucked. That was really tough because I felt like I did everything right. I felt like I did everything. I switched programs. I did certain things. I felt like I did everything that, I was supposed to do because I needed to make a change to try to, improve results or try to not get hurt or try to make those changes. And I felt like I did. I really felt like I did coming into that year. And, the results were there. That's the thing is it was working, until it wasn't. So, obviously a lot happened in that. My contact fell out. I couldn't see, my arm is weak, and that's kind of the combination of those things is what caused my Dallas crash. But still, to be in the same position that I was all the years prior to that, as in one of the fastest guys, had potential to win the championship, but now I'm hurt and now I'm out for the rest of the year, or out for a long time. That was tough. That really was tough. And I know that I haven't really been the same guy since then. Just is what it is. So I'm sure that's kind of a reason I'm sure a lot of you guys kind of see or know already, but just one that I felt like I really just got broken in that. And I don't feel like I haven't fully recovered. And that's just one of those things. And to be honest, I'm probably never going to fully recover from that. That's just one of those big things that happens in life. The last thing that I guess is a reason goes back to just the Dallas crash, but it's what happened after the Dallas crash. So when they found that thing in my head, that AVM, they found that. I had surgery on it. Riley got pregnant. Atlas was born. So those four things, in the order, just the way that it happened. I'm a religious guy, as you guys know. I don't really believe in coincidence. The way that all of that happened was way too big. It wasn't a coincidence. I know that was a plan that I believe that God had for my life since the beginning. And you know, that just because they found that thing in that AVM in my head from the scans that they did after my Dallas crash, I had to have surgery to get that removed. Obviously, Riley got pregnant at some point in the middle of all that. And then Atlas was born, and just how special he is to me. I mean, if you're a dad, you know exactly what I'm talking about, but how special he is to me and how much I just truly enjoy being a dad. I mean, we were at the park today for a little bit. And dude, I love being a dad. I love Atlas so much. So I almost feel like in a way it's disrespectful, or it's not honoring the second chance that I feel like God gave me. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I got a second chance at life. I fully believe that if I didn't have my Dallas crash, with the size of that the AVM was in my head, because it was really big and the doctor said it was really on the verge of rupturing pretty much at any time, I fully believe that if my Dallas crash should not have happened, that I would have died before I got to meet my son, before he was born. So that's just something that I fully believe. Just because of the way that all of the things happened, I do believe that I would have died before I ever got to meet my son. And so because of that thinking, I believe that in a way that was what Dirtbikes did their job. You know, that's what they were supposed to do for me. I mean, would I go as far to say that that's the whole reason that I started riding in the first place and it all led up to that? I mean, at this point, I'm hard pressed to say that it wasn't. You know, just with how much I love Atlas, with how much I love, and just with how all of that happened, I feel like that was my purpose in Dirtbikes. That was the purpose that Dirtbikes were supposed to do for me and for my life. And, you know, I could be wrong, but that's how I feel. That's what I believe. And because of that, I don't feel like that Dirtbikes have much left to offer me. You know, I feel like that they've given me, you know, a good life. I am the person I am because of everything that has happened, whether it's good, whether it's bad. I've seen the highs, I've seen the lows, I've seen a bunch of different sides of racing, and you know, I am who I am today because of it. So, you know, but I do feel like that was supposed to happen, and like that's what Dirtbikes were supposed to do for me. So because of, I guess, a combination of those three things, along with the fact that I just have not been having fun at the races, and you know, I've obviously dealing with all this stuff. All this stuff going on in my head. It makes you second guess. It makes you not super, you know, present, and you're not fully present. You're not fully in the moments. You're not taking some of the risks that you know, need to in order to be up front. And it's not working for me. So yeah. I do want to say that those are my reasons. I guess those are, I mean, there's probably little things here and there that I forgot, but those are kind of the three main reasons. It's the combination of the three. And, yeah, I feel like it's time. I really do. I can look back on my career and I can be proud of the things that I did accomplish. Obviously I do know that I had a lot of potential coming in, and I didn't live up to it. I know that I was a big my career was a big what if, or, you know, what could have been, I guess. But, you know, a lot of things have happened to me that are so much more than dirt bikes now. And I feel like I have I just feel like have changed a little bit, and for the better. I would like to think for the better. So yeah, I think I've been talking for 15 minutes. So if you guys have stuck around, I really appreciate it. I appreciate everybody who's stuck behind me my whole career. All the fans, all the people that I've met. Some of the most special things are going to be the talks that I've had with people in autograph lines, and with some of the DMs that I've got of and where we just have genuine conversations, you know. Those are some of I look back now that I'm reflecting on everything, and those are some of the more special things that I experienced, because winning races is awesome. But dude, everybody forgets the next race, when you get 5th, when you get 10th, where you're hurt and you're not on the gate. Everybody forgets, man. That's kind of the brutal side of this sport. You know, as quickly as you are to be at the high, you're at the highest point. Everybody's talking about you. You're on the magazine cover. You're everywhere. And then you're not. And then you're hurt. And then you're out. And then you're in the hospital. And then you're doing rehab. And your name is nowhere. So it's kind of seen a lot of the different sides of the sport. But I feel like at this point, I can be happy with what I've accomplished. And I have a new goal in life. And I have that's to be a good father, a good husband, a good son. You know, I've always had. Dirt bikes have always been the number one thing in my life, and they just aren't anymore. You know, so yeah, appreciate it, guys. Again, thank you to all the fans. Thank you for all of you sticking behind me. I don't exactly know what's next for me as far as, jobs go and stuff. I don't exactly know what's next. I'm trying to figure it out kind of right now, but yeah. Appreciate it, guys. If you stuck around this far, thank you, and peace.
Wow, he gave us his whole truth, and he was brutally honest with the audience and with himself. I mean, that was a hard one to even say, where it was I was given the opportunity and I didn't live up to the expectations. But he also is grateful for the life he has with his beautiful wife, who I can contest to. She is down to earth. I had a small little conversation with her, and it just meant everything to me. I wish him all the best, and if he still has any love for dirt bikes and wants to stay in the game some way, I would love to see him coaching. I think he would actually be good with kids, as we see how much he loves being a dad and he's so hands-on with everything. I think he would have the perfect temperament for it. But on the other hand, if he is totally in need of a clean break from dirt bikes and racing, it's totally understandable. He's been through so much. Just look at this quick throwback.
First off, I just want to say thank you to everybody who's reached out and sent prayers and everything. I haven't been responding to very many people, even some like friends and family. I just don't even really know what to say. I'm just still kind of in shock and still just so upset, still so fresh. And I just got news yesterday of what actually happened, or what the actual damage is. So it's just one of those things that is just still fresh on my mind. It's still tough, and I don't really like to talk to people whenever I am, like this. So I want to say a big thank you to my team, and I spoke to Mitch just a little bit ago. He was super positive and super reassuring, which is really cool, because he has no reason to be honest. My results over the past few years have not been very good. I'm very thankful that people still support me. because a lot of people don't have reasons to still support me, but they do. So I guess with that being said, the damage to my knee, it's my knee is the main thing. If you guys couldn't see that from the, I know they showed the TV angle where it looks like my leg's bouncing all around. It's not my leg. A lot of people thought it was my, well, I mean, I guess it's ACL tear, full thickness ACL tear, lateral meniscus tear with displaced flap, posterior lateral tibial plateau, non-disc breast fracture. So like the top of my tib fib, the top of that's cracked, I guess. Medial meniscus tear, MCL sprain, and grade 2 PCL injury. So I mean, not completely destroyed, but it's ACL, and anything other than ACL, I mean, ACL is the long one that's 6 months or whatever. All the other stuff is just, you know, extras that they'll fix when they're in there. So yeah. Oh, and I have a break in my hand also. It's right there. It's just a little bone in my wrist, or hands in there. It's not a huge deal. It really isn't even too bad, other than when I crutch, it doesn't really hurt. But yeah, man, it's so tough to deal with this right now. I had such a good off season coming in this year, super low key, super chill. Honestly, at this point, I feel like just embarrassed. I'm obviously extremely disappointed in myself, but I'm just like disgusted with myself. Like it's, unless you've been in this situation or something similar, it's hard to really explain, but it's just like, I don't even want to look people in the face. You know, it's tough, because now this is my third year where I've been out of the championship after 2 races. And that's or like a max of 2 races, you know? So, I didn't even make the first race this year. So, and now I'm out for a while. So, this one's tough. This one's really tough. Just because of the past couple of years, but I'm not, you know, the actual crash itself. I'm not, you know, blaming anybody. People say, oh, you know, it was a star crash, and you know, it wasn't 100% your fault. I don't like having that outlook. You know, I like taking responsibility where I can. If I would have gotten a little bit of a better jump, I could have had the wheel on those guys, and they couldn't have came over, and we couldn't have hit. But either way, I mean, me and RJ kind of got together out of the gate a little bit, and my front wheel was off the ground just like a little bit, and those guys started to come over from the outside, and my front wheel was up, so I couldn't move around because my front wheel was off the ground. And they came over. I let it down into back of Cameron's wheel, dabbed my knee, and right when I dabbed my knee, I knew it was done. As soon as it bammed a, you know, quarter of a second or whatever between when I dabbed my knee to when I got ejected, I knew right then that my knee was done. And then I was on the ground, and the doctors came over, and they were like, what's wrong? And I was like, honestly, everything else, nothing's too bad, but my knee's done. Like, I'm all scraped up and stuff, but I knew my knee was done. So that's an update. Obviously I'm super bummed. I'm more than bummed. I'm really, really, really upset. So I want to thank everybody though that's still sticking behind me. There's obviously the people that are going to talk. They're going to talk either way. You know, it is what it is.